You watch 90 minutes tonight. 22 players. 1 ball. A referee who somehow controls all of it with a whistle and a piece of paper. It feels ancient, doesn't it? Like it has always existed this way. It has not. The game you know today is barely 160 years old, and the road to it is far stranger and far more violent than anything you will see on the pitch this weekend. Start 2,000 years ago. Not in England, in China. During the Han Dynasty, soldiers played a game called kuju. A leather ball, stuffed with feathers and hair, kicked toward a small net strung between bamboo poles. No hands allowed. Sound familiar? FIFA itself has recognized kuju as the earliest form of the sport. But kuju was not football. Not yet. It was training. A way to keep soldiers sharp between battles. Rome had its own version. Harpastum. Rougher. Meaner. A small ball fought over by 2 teams on a marked field, with shoving, tackling, and almost no rules at all. When Roman soldiers marched across Europe, they carried the game with them. It took root. It mutated. And in medieval England, it became something closer to a riot than a sport. Picture this. An entire village, sometimes hundreds of people, chasing an inflated pig's bladder through streets, fields, and rivers. 2 goals, miles apart. No referee. No rule book. Broken bones were common. Deaths were not rare. This was called mob football, and kings hated it. In 1314, King Edward II banned it in London, worried it distracted men from archery practice, the skill England actually needed for war. Edward III banned it again in 1349. So did Henry IV. So did Elizabeth I. For over 300 years, the game you love was technically illegal. Here is the twist. The bans never worked. People kept playing anyway, in villages, in schoolyards, on any patch of open ground they could find. And by the 1800s, English public schools had each invented their own version, with wildly different rules. Some allowed carrying the ball. Some forbade it entirely. Some let you trip an opponent. Others considered that outrageous. A student who moved from one school to another effectively had to learn a new sport. That chaos is exactly what forced the change. In 1848, students at Cambridge University sat down and tried to write one shared rulebook, known today as the Cambridge Rules. It did not fully succeed. The disagreements were too deep, but it planted the idea that football needed a single agreed structure. The real turning point came on October the 26th, 1863, in a pub called the Freemasons' Tavern in London. Representatives from 11 clubs met there. Led by a solicitor named Ebenezer Cobb Morley, over several meetings, they founded the Football Association. And in doing so, they made a decision that would define the sport forever. They banned handling the ball, and they banned hacking, which meant kicking an opponent in the shins. One faction disagreed so strongly that they walked out and went on to form rugby football instead. That single meeting is the moment football, as you know it, was truly born. Notice what actually happened here. Football did not arrive as an invention. It arrived as a compromise. A messy, argued-over agreement between men who could not agree on almost anything else. Every rule you take for granted. No handball. No hacking. One shared code exists because a small group of Victorian gentlemen got tired of not understanding each other's games. The modern mirror is closer than you think. Right now, football still argues over its rules the same way it did in that tavern. VAR, offside, handball interpretation. All of it debated endlessly on television and in pubs. Exactly like Morley's committee once debated hacking. The game has never stopped negotiating itself into existence. Every controversial decision this weekend is a small echo of 1863. And that mob in the medieval streets, chasing a pig's bladder for miles with no rules at all? You still feel its ghost. It lives in every last-minute scramble in the penalty box. Every moment the game becomes pure chaos again, if only for a few seconds, before order reasserts itself. So tonight, when you watch 90 minutes, 22 players, 1 ball, and a referee holding it all together, remember this. You are not watching something that has always existed. You are watching the surviving version of a fight that lasted 2,000 years, 300 years of royal bans, and one argument in a London pub that a handful of men almost couldn't finish.